Hey, cunts, don't forget to click the subscribe button.
But what's the takeaway from your boxing experience, if any?
Facing the fear. Just don't focus on what is not real. Just focus on what you want to get. Like
that's part of it. Yeah, that's for sure. That's part of it. And when you're a little kid and you look into the dark, you're afraid of the dark. Normally, little kids are, and you can see anything. You can see, and because false expectations appearing real, and whether you box or you didn't box, that's not the point. The point is to see the interfacing of the people and how they react to it. And nothing. We've had guys that looked at the phone 45 minutes before they picked it up to make their first cold call. And finally, their wife said, "Are you going to pick up the phone call? Or pick up the phone, or are you a snowflake like Mr. Peña says?" Cold calling for me wasn't a problem. Cold calling for some people. But after you make 100 calls or 50 calls, 200, whatever the number is for you as an individual, life changes. Life changes because it's just you, the phone, and a script or a template. I would strongly recommend that when you practice, you first of all tape yourself practicing. That's scary enough. Then video yourself, and that's more scary because you may sound all right, but when you look like you're ready to piss your pants on the film, and the more you do that, and that's why I say improv is so important, and Toastmasters are so important, and getting any opportunity you get to get up and speak. And normally we don't, when I say we, I'm talking about the collective we. And the guys and the gals that have mastered the communication skills are the guys and the gals that have done the best the soonest. Now, some people, it takes months and even years to master their communication skills. Now, some of the kids, I would be disingenuous if I didn't tell you, some of the kids are successful, never meeting anybody eyeball to eyeball. Some of the kids are successful, never shaking their hand. All because they've learned how to do it, on their laptop or on their iPhone. But they're in the minority. And they're not the big money guys or gals. They're just not. But they have, we've got some guys and gals that have never met anybody. Never met anybody on their board. And they've had some reasonable success. But I'm not here to teach you to have reasonable success. I'm here to teach you how to have massive success. And I can tell you with my hand on my heart, even though people say I don't have a heart in there, where it's supposed to be my heart, it's eyeball to eyeball, press in the flesh is the best and the most successful. And it's harder for them to forget you when they've met you. Not forget in the sense that, they're not going to talk, but it's harder for them to forget your message when they've met you eyeball to eyeball and they've heard it come out of your own mouth. And again, with sincerity. Now, the guy that Tan, the Vietnamese kid that was up there, he doesn't seem sound. It's like an actor up there now. But he's practiced his butt off. And it's really important for him to make that turn, that flip from his previous life to what he's doing now. And he's sounded pretty good, actually. Not bad. Pretty articulate, pretty forceful. And sitting in that room, it sets me back seeing in a panel kind of office situation. He's giving it away when it says up there Hitler and all those guys that are above him. But he's practiced a lot. And when you're on the first Zoom call, and I say, any questions? and nobody says anything, and I say, any questions again? That means, yeah, I'm expecting a question. And that's your first time, maybe your first time to practice in front of your peers as a group. And and you'll be either overwhelmed by how slick some of the guys on the Zoom call are, or you'll be underwhelmed, okay? And it's kind of in between. You want your colleagues in general to succeed, but you don't want them to sound a hell of a lot better than you, because then, that affects your sensitivities. But some of the guys and gals on the first Zoom call will sound reasonably well, and some of them will sound like they've got mush in their mouth, and that's partially nerves. Anything else? Any comments? Yes, sir.
Yeah, those people who are not in the fight don't know shit.
Correct.
You learn more from 1 minute in the ring than from 10 minutes of watching.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And it's not just because my dad used to whack me around or hit me with a car or stuff like that, which is part of it. But I've always believed, there's a saying that I think Teddy Roosevelt said about, the blood in the ring, the blood in the ground is similar to what you said. Is more than all the pontification. Although the kids on YouTube, this segment, not so much here, but in the ring segment, they got a lot of commentary. It reminds me of Howard Cosell. For those of you that are old enough, that used to be the fight announcer or one of the fight announcers during Muhammad Ali's comeback, and of course Howard Cosell never swung a punch at anybody, and he was a lawyer, if I remember correctly, and he had one of the ugliest toupees that was ever known to man, and but he always had a comment. It's the end of his career, and he's washed up, and then 3 months later the guy wins a championship. But it's great experience for you. It's great experience for you. We're going to keep it at 1 round, and that's enough because it gets the point across. It gets the point across. Anybody have any questions? I want to see, when we get off of YouTube, I want to show Deb. Okay. And while you're thinking about questions you might ask me about what just happened, the Deb is a 57-year-old guy who's done it all. Everything that we've talked about, he's done, except not for himself. And when you hear his commentary, it's pretty soul searching. And again, most of the people say, I wish I'd been doing this 20, 25 years ago. But if I wouldn't start coaching again. There's 3 or 4 things I'd never do in my life again, one of which is this. But once I got into it, I wanted to be the best. And it's taken me arguably a long time. I'd never buy a castle again. That's like a growing hemorrhoids on purpose. I mean, you have no idea, I used to think some of our other estates were a pain in the ass, but they were luxury venues compared to this place, because when you have something 450 years old, it just breaks. Now this, you don't know that because this is almost brand new. Any questions tonight? We're in the pavilion. Who's my 5:30? 6:30. Very good. Okay. Any questions? Any comments about the pugilism, the fighting, boxing?
You tense up in the moment.
Hmm?
You tense up in the moment.
Now, if you want, look at the films of yourself when I was teasing Dan because he looked like that's sprouting. Yeah. I mean, he floated around pretty good, but I mean, he's also got some training. You and I both know that. So, but you tense up. But look at the filming of the guys who are in the ring, and you're much more tense in the first 10 to 30 seconds. Of course, it's only 60 seconds long. And then you loosen up, and just about the time you get your stride, the bell rings for a reason. Because once you get your stride is when people get hurt. Now, Jason, made me look bad by getting hurt before everybody got their stride. But how are you doing? How's your arm?
I just felt a guy So I just stopped because I know you will
Yeah.
probably stop from there and keep going up.
Yeah.
So it's just
Well, I have no long head bicep. And I saw it roll, the muscle roll up. But I kept going because I'm not as bright as Jason. That's a joke there. Everybody's supposed to laugh. I'm not as bright as I didn't stop. I kept going, and they tried to repair it twice, and it ripped twice, and then finally I just gave up on it, so I don't have a long head bicep. Okay, YouTube, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.